Hello, this is Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I'm recording this on May 26th. I'm going to give a brief update. We have some negotiations that are taking place with Trump and Iran that came up over the weekend. There was some potential breakthrough with the war and having a more long-lasting ceasefire. I apologize for the noise in the background, but this is alumni and commencement week in Cambridge, and there may be a little bit of noise in the background. That's why I'm here, is for the alumni events. So I want to go over the news and how the markets responded today, because they opened up. They were closed because of Memorial Day. So the markets are trading at, as of this recording, which is about 11:38. The S&P 500 is trading higher, which is at 7,512. I still have a long-term end-of-year target of 7,800, maybe 8,000, but potentially closing at 7,400. But at the moment, it's at 7,512. It all is predicated on what happens with Iran and the war. Oil is trading at 94. It opened up lower, but it's starting to retrace back up. So it's at 94.36. Brent crude is at 97.37. And we have natural gas at 3.054. There's a little bit of a retracement for ones that are trying to short natural gas. There's a little bit of, it's down today, but it's trying to retrace back up. So we have that update. The big news is the Treasury yields. The 10-year Treasury yield is at 4.504, and the 30-year Treasury yield is at 5.02. You may hear in the background they're testing the audio system for the commencements in the background in Cambridge. Now, Bitcoin is trading at 76,000. It's a little bit down. Japanese yen's trading at 159.36. All right, so that's where the markets are right now. Things are somewhat stable, but my personal take on what Trump's doing with the Iran negotiations is to say he's just kicking the can down the road, and there's nothing really that's going to be coming out of these new agreements, unless we get the nuclear material and see what the point of making a peace agreement with Iran is. So I just think that Trump is just trying to put lipstick on pig, honestly. And I'm a little bit perturbed by it, because he has a tendency to almost like sell you a bill of goods, and he's not delivering. So that's my take on it. There's not going to be a peace agreement. Oil right now is trading at under 90. So oil is trading at, WTI is trading at 94.48. Probably is going to go up once we hear that the agreement starts to fail, and it'll start trading closer to 104. You'll notice that there's a trading range between 94 and 104. Once it gets close to 104, and it's trading at 103, 102, Trump says something, it brings down oil, then an agreement doesn't come into fruition, and then it comes back up. So until the Strait of Hormuz is actually open, we're not going to have oil trading substantially lower. Now, the thing is that the average gasoline price in the United States, per what CNN mentioned last night, was the average is $4.50 a gallon. if this doesn't stop, we're going to see close to $5 a gallon. And that's going to heavily affect people. And the longer the Strait of Hormuz is closed, it's baking in more and more inflation. This is not something that's going to come back down. It's baking in inflation. So I think that what we need to do is have a president that actually is forceful. He should basically say to Iran, you have X amount of days or X amount of hours to give us the nuclear material, or we're going and taking it from you and destroying your country. But instead, he keeps on playing along and playing along and playing along and not really solving the problem. You know, the problem that I have with Trump, even though I voted for him 3 times, one, he has this mass construction that's going on at the White House. It's still not fully determined if what is above ground is going to be built. He can do everything below ground, but he can't do anything above ground because it hasn't been approved yet. In addition, we don't have the Strait of Hormuz open. So that's a problem. And the whole tariff type scenario with trade, that's still up in the air on what he's going to do. What he was currently doing last year and the beginning of this year was struck down by the Supreme Court. Now he has other means to institute tariffs, but the bottom line is we didn't get anything out. He has to give back the money that was collected. Now, here's the rub. Individuals that bought goods that had tariffs attached to them aren't getting a rebate, but the companies that were charged the tariff are getting a rebate, even though they raised their costs and pushed it to the public. So where's the public's rebate? And then you had this tax rebate or less taxation. We had a larger refund, however you want to phrase it. We had a larger refund for our taxes this year. Well, it's all eaten up by the inflation, by tariffs, and because of higher gasoline prices. So the American public is no farther ahead, and in many cases worse off than they were a year ago. So Trump is failing on this, big time. So that's my just 2 cents with this agreement that supposedly he's getting closer to, and you know, there's going to be some sort of peace agreement. I don't believe it's going to happen. And Trump, I personally believe that he does not have the fortitude to actually go in and take the nuclear material. Iran is not going to give it to him. Not at all. He's going to have to go in and take it. And I don't think that Trump is willing to do that. And so it's always going to be kicking the can down the road. And some analysts are saying that if there is an agreement, it's going to be going back to something very close to what Obama had. So where are we at? Same thing with the tariffs and the construction at the White House. We're either worse off or right where we started. This is the problem with Trump. He's got too many irons in the fire, and he needs to get things done. You know, I'm glad that he was president, but I have Trump exhaustion. I want him to finish the job in terms of the tariffs, in terms of Iran, opening up the Strait of Hormuz, and fixing up Washington, D.C. and the construction at the East Wing. Please help support the work that I do by donating on my website. You can donate through Stripe, PayPal, or Buy Me a Coffee. You can also be a paid member to my Patreon channel and my Substack channel. It's through ones that help support this free coverage that I do and give you my opinion about what's going on with the financial markets and international affairs. It's the ones that help support that allows me to do these things for free. All of the videos I do are for free. You can also watch me on YouTube, Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble, on Podomatic, Apple Podcasts, Substack, TikTok. Many ways to follow me. X, GETTR. There's lots of ways to follow my work. But all of it's for free. So please help support the work by being a paid member on Patreon, Substack, or be a individual that donates on my website, the-studio-reykjavik.com. In addition, please share the links and ask your social media to follow. And I have great supplements on my store. You can get these supplements that will help to slow down the aging process. And let me just quickly explain just a small subset of the supplements that I have. I have a protocol called the core, right? And that protocol to slow down the aging process is based on a very simple premise. You build the foundation by building up your gut biome. So I have 2 probiotics that are a powdered version or a veggie cap version. You take that every day, drink it with filtered water, and by helping with the gut biome, you're improving your metabolism, you're reducing inflammation, you're boosting up your immune system. Good gut will also help with your skin and help with your brain function. And when you're helping with your brain function, you're going to be able to sleep better, you're going to have better memory, and by sleeping better, you're going to be detoxifying your central nervous system and consolidating the memory, so that's really important. Now, in addition, your metabolism is going to improve, so your liver functions are going to improve too with a good gut biome. Now, in addition to that foundation, you build off of it with 4 different pillars. The first pillar is taking Max 35, Cleanse, or Max 14, which will help to boost up the innate immune system. It helps to neutralize the oral cavity and the oral pharynx. Now, C60 is the second pillar, and that is a very strong antioxidant. And by soaking up free radicals, you're bringing down inflammation, helping with your mitochondria health, and you're going to be boosting your immune system and your endocrine system, helping with your ATP levels. So healthy mitochondria are super important. In addition, by soaking up those free radicals at the vascular level, you're going to reduce plaque formation. And soaking up free radicals at the neuron level is super important because your neuroplasticity will be improved and you'll have more dendritic connections. So you'll be thinking faster and you'll be having better memory. So taking C60 every day, take a teaspoon a day every day, and it is a very strong antioxidant. So that's the second pillar. The third pillar is turmeric, ashwagandha, and lignans. Ashwagandha will help to bring down cortisol levels and help to control your blood glucose levels. That will bring down inflammation. It's super important. And by bringing down cortisol levels, you're boosting up that immune system. A lot of people don't realize that high stress levels and elevated cortisol levels actually suppress the immune system. Now, if it's chronic. Now, turmeric will soak up free radicals and bring down inflammation. And lignans will help with the immune system, the endocrine system, soak up free radicals and bring down inflammation. When you stack these together for the third pillar, the turmeric, the ashwagandha, and the lignans, it's synergistic and it's going to help with the cardiovascular health, brain function, and help with the immune system. And lastly, the Boomer Boost, which will help many different ways. It's going to help boost up your energy levels, rev up the health of your mitochondria. You're going to have a steady burn of energy throughout the whole day with no spiking. In addition, you're going to be able to help with your cardiovascular health, and you're going to be able to help with boosting up your immune system and your endocrine system, help with your musculature. A lot of people don't realize that if you improve your musculature, you're actually improving your concentration of myokines that will help to improve protecting your neurons. Increases of myokines because of building muscle and increasing your concentrations of B, D, and F will help to protect your neurons. So that slows down neuro decline. So that's really important. So there's many ways to use my supplements and stack them accordingly. But like I said, the core protocol, the foundation, probiotic, first pillar, the Max 35 or Cleanse or Max 14 to boost up the innate immune system. C60, soak up the free radicals. Third pillar, the turmeric, ashwagandha, and lignans to help with the immune system and the endocrine system and brain function. And Boomer Boost, rev up those energy levels radicals and really help with all these different systems that I just mentioned. They work synergistically and it will help to slow down the aging process. It's a very simple idea. Bring down inflammation, soak up those free radicals, and boost up energy levels. And you will slow down the aging process and slow down the methylation of your genes. Very important. So please go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for another update.